I want this to be more of a conversation than a presentation. What's the difference?
You're not drawing still anything yet.
You're trying to get information instead of...
No, I want it to be two-way, okay? If I'm talking at Brad, Brad can be looking me dead in the eye and be a million miles away, okay? He can be thinking of anything but what I'm talking about. He can be hearing nothing of what I say and retaining even less. But if it's a conversation, I'm getting feedback, so at least I know he's got to be paying somewhat of attention because I'm asking him questions, okay? All right, Brad, listen, before we go out and check out the vehicle you came to see, and by the way, you picked a great vehicle, I want to let you know that we've done something here at Island Chrysler that no other store in the state of South Carolina, to the best of my knowledge, has done. You know, ownership is recognized for a long time that there are certain fears consumers have. For example, have you ever worried about paying a car dealer too much for a car?
Yes.
Okay. Now, why would you worry about paying a car dealer too much for a car?
Get ripped off.
And that's sort of our reputation, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what, Brad, it's been that way for about 100 years, hasn't it?
Probably
Okay, well, guess what? The world has changed, and now there's 300 million people seeking revenge on us. First of all, the vehicle you came to see, you saw it on the internet, right?
correct.
And I'm going to guess if our price hadn't been pretty good, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Correct.
Okay. Now, everybody's having to put their vehicles on the internet pre-discounted, because if we don't pre-discount them, nobody shows up. But we've taken it one step further. I'm going to say something to you right now, Brad, that I'd like to hear what you think about it. Brad, it's impossible to pay too much for a car here at Island Chrysler.
Why is that?
It sounds sort of crazy, doesn't it? Does it sound almost unbelievable?
Probably.
So it's a car salesman telling a customer they can't pay too much for a car. They could almost make a cartoon out of that one, couldn't they?
Right.
Well, here's the way it works. Ownership is known for years that people leave here because they just didn't know if it was a good deal or not. Okay, we've had people leave literally on deals where we were losing money because we needed to move the vehicle, but they still weren't sure. So they came up with a program that would help the customer understand that the deals don't get any better than what we've got on a particular vehicle. Here's how it works. When you take delivery of this vehicle today, we give you 5 days to search anywhere you want to. Any other dealership, independent or new car franchise, Craigslist, in South Carolina, in the Southeast, in the U.S., worldwide. If you find a similar vehicle to the one you take delivery from us today, and it is advertised for a lower price, and it's got the same benefits we offer, all you have to do is show us the ad, and we will cut you a check back for the difference. And Brad, we put this in writing. We have literally made it impossible for you to pay too much at Island Chrysler.
Wow.
Now, has any dealer ever told you that before?
No.
I tell you what, let's go check out the vehicle, because that's job one, to make sure it's right, because there's no such thing as a good deal on the wrong car, is there?
Correct.
Okay, so then off we go. What was the purpose of that conversation?
Explain
Building the bond
the
between
value.
Taking the 2 fears away.
I only did one that time. I just want to lower those I mean, do people come on the lot here defensive, scared, mad?
110%.
Exactly. Look, we've been mistreating people for as long as I've been in the business. Yeah, well, you know how it's been. I mean, look, we have the reputation we have for a reason. I told the group this morning that I get more feedback in a month than all your stores combined get in a year from consumers. How do I get that feedback? That the role play I'm doing right now, I'm going to post on YouTube. By midnight, it will have 1,000 to 1,500 views. I get 250,000 views a month. The vast majority from consumers who are trying to figure out how to buy cars. When I started this YouTube channel, it was for the accounts I was doing business with. It was so salespeople and sales managers could go on and look at the videos if they wanted to study them. Never in a million years did I think it would grow to what it has. Never in 10 million years did I think the vast majority of the viewers would be non-automotive people. And because they're non-automotive people, I get 300 to 500 comments a week, a minimum of 1 death threat a week. The misunderstanding consumers have about our business is mind-boggling. Every video I put up is completely the truth. Okay. Later on this week, you'll see me. You'll see some objection handling techniques that you've never seen before. Okay, I promise you've never seen them before. A couple of them I had never seen in 36 years in the business until I started training motorcycle people. And then the motorcycle people, they taught me some stuff that I wish I'd known 30 years ago. But everything I do is mathematically correct. Everything I do is honest. Everything I do is logical. And I get I get called names. I've got over 2,000 comments that are in the review section of YouTube because of language. And they're not saying, "You're a good fucking guy, Steve." I can promise you that. So the consumer has a huge distrust of us. So when I tell Brad that he can't pay too much, I truly expect him to call me a liar, but most customers aren't brave enough or aggressive enough to do that. So I have to sort of pull out of him. Now that sounds like a lie, doesn't it, Brad? Because you need to bring it out. The only objection that none of us in this room can overcome is the unspoken objection. So you have to drag it out of him. Because if I have this conversation and he's thinking I'm a liar the entire time, nothing's going to work. Nothing's going to work. So the whole purpose is just to relax Brad a little bit. If I can just get him to start thinking, well, shit, maybe things have changed. Maybe I can't pay too much here. The whole sales engagement improves. And the impression I try to give to a customer today, even when I'm in a closing situation, is, look, I don't give a shit whether you buy, whether you buy this car or not. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I want you to buy a car. Make no mistake about that. And I want to help you make the decision to buy a car. I don't want to sell you. I was in a Subaru store about 4 weeks ago, and I took a turn, older couple. So if I'm calling them an older couple, you know they're older, okay? Okay. Now this little girl, the sales girl, done a great job. She had helped him pick out an Outback. It was the right Outback. It was a deeply discounted Outback. I mean, it's a good deal. But these people don't know it's a good deal. They can't make a decision. So I'm using every tactic and strategy I can. And this guy goes, "Hey, I feel like you're putting pressure on me." I said, "Sir, please don't misinterpret my absolute belief and my enthusiasm for your opportunity here for pressure." I said, "I'm a deep, deep believer that you're not going to find a better deal in the world than this one." They were shopping this against a Honda Pilot. I said, "The Honda Pilot is going to be more expensive, but it's going to have a bigger discount because it's got more markup and they're giving the sons of guns away." Okay? They're not doing that. We don't have to do that with the Outback. Plus the Outback's residual is about 15 points higher. I said, "This is a better deal." And I said, "Furthermore, if you don't say yes, I will exert some pressure on you." And the guy looked at me and goes, "Okay, we'll do it then." But when you're trying to close a deal, rather than any nifty words or techniques, if you just believe that it's the right thing for the customer, that's going to bleed through in your presentation.
Yeah, they're gonna sense it.
Yeah, they're going to sense it. And you guys know that. I mean, a friend of mine asked me a couple weeks ago, "How do I get a good deal on a car these days?" I said, "Show the fuck up. Just show up.
Yeah.
You're going to get a good deal. I mean, do your research. Don't be an idiot. Find a salesperson you like. Tell the salesperson the truth. Tell him if you're going to buy a car or not. Don't jack him around, and he or she won't jack you around." Among my friends, there's way more dishonest people among my friends when they shop for cars than car salesmen. I mean, the car salesman is not the dishonest one in the transaction most of the time. We're held to people think we're lying when we're telling the truth. We can't make an honest mistake. If we make a mistake, it's a dishonest mistake.
So they think gives them the right to lie to us.
They come in absolutely believing that it's okay to lie to a car salesman. I don't know what it is in South Carolina, but in Georgia, in the public school system in 3rd grade, you're taught to be nice to people, don't tell a lie unless you're on a car dealer lot, and then you can say anything you want to. Okay? I mean, it's crazy. And what I hate is it's driving good people out of our business and making it very difficult to attract good people to our business.
You know, 80% of the 80% you have up there buy a car because they like the salesperson.
Make no mistake, that is still look, has the world changed? Yeah. Has the internet changed things? Yeah. But in order for me to buy a car, I got to meet somebody like Elvis. I can't do it without meeting a salesperson. Now, people, make no mistake, they're trying to get it to that point. I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime. It may happen in some of you younger guys' lifetimes. But people are still buying from people. If I come on the lot and I like Elvis, the chances of me buying a car skyrocket.
Yep.
If I don't like Elvis, doesn't matter how good the deal is. Doesn't matter how nice the car is. It makes it very difficult for me to make a yes decision unless you got the only vehicle of its type around. And that doesn't happen very often.
And that's usually the 20%.
My YouTube channel, I'm gonna send you an email tonight. There's a YouTube icon below my signature. Just click on it, you can subscribe, doesn't cost a thing. Okay, there's over 800 videos. A lot of motor trend, but more on how to handle objections, present numbers, handle payment objections, price objections, trade objections, how to close, reclose. I mean, there's some very intense videos on there. And there's the one that's almost got one video I did 5 years ago with an obnoxious salesperson. It's one of the worst videos I do. It's techniques I don't use anymore at all. It's up to almost 1 million views on that one video. And there's probably 7,000 or 8,000 comments about what a cocksucker I am. I literally get emails from salespeople around the country that I have no idea who they are going, hey Steve, please don't read the comments. We don't want you to quit posting your videos. I write it back and say, look, I got no feelings left, okay. All right, now with Brad, I'm going to try to eliminate his fear of making a mistake by buying the wrong car, okay? Brad, another fear that our customers have is they don't want to make a mistake because you're looking at a car that's, $30,000, $35,000. A $35,000 mistake isn't any fun, is it?
No.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Have you ever bought something from a retailer, got it home, and discovered it wasn't right, so you took it back and exchanged it for something else?
Yeah, just last night. Pair of underwear.
There you go. Okay, very good. Well, you know what? Most retailers are in the 21st century, and they understand that allowing a customer to bring something back for exchange is a good idea. But when you buy a car from a car dealer, you're stuck with it, aren't you?
Yep.
Okay, well, guess what? Not at Island Chrysler. You are not stuck with it. Whether it's a new one or one of our certified pre-owned ones, we give you 3 days. Think of it as a elongated test drive. If during those first 3 days, we ask you not to put more than 300 additional miles on the odometer, but if you decide that vehicle is not right for you, for whatever reason, if it doesn't have a sunroof and you decided you wanted a sunroof, or it has a sunroof and you decide you don't need a sunroof, if the color doesn't look as good as you thought it did, if you bought it at night and you get it home in the daytime and the color doesn't look right, hey, just give us a call. Bring that sucker back and exchange it for another one. We don't want you to be happy for 3 or 4 or 5 days. We want you to be happy for 3, 4, or 5 years. And Brad, we put this in writing as well. Any other dealer ever told you that before?
No.
So Brad, at Island Chrysler, you cannot make 2 huge mistakes that people worry about making. You can't pay us too much. We've made it impossible. And you can't buy the wrong vehicle. So why don't we go out and make sure that we pick out the right vehicle the first time? Cool?
Sound good.
Okay. Now, why do I emphasize that it's in writing?
It's the only way somebody's gonna believe you.
Justify.
Credibility. Credibility.
What happens if you're not here, you tell them that and you're not here tomorrow?
Excellent point. Excellent point. The reason we put it in writing is, shoot, I can get run over by a bus. You come back here and say, hey, I heard I can exchange the car, and they all look at you like you got 4 eyes. It's in writing, Brad. Okay, great point. Great point. All right, we're gonna play these back, watch it, and then it's your turn.
I just got one more question.
Yes, sir.
When does this start?
Good point. Mike, is this live today?
Friday, we're gonna wait till everybody gets through.
They'll forget like half the stuff.
Well, I hate that because Mike's using it right now.
You
Mike's
look,
on the phone probably using it.
look, we can start it, you
I'll
can
start
start,
it. I can start it right
you
now.
can start it anytime you want to.
But technically, Friday, after, I guess it would be Saturday. I don't know, we're not training for Friday, right? It'll be Friday.
Okay.
That-
But if you have a, and by the way, when I'm on your property, when I'm on your property, like when we get done here, I'm gonna hang around. If you want me to talk to one of your customers and explain this, I'll be happy to. If you want me to help you close a customer, I mean, there is no objection a consumer can give me as long as they're speaking English that I am not prepared for. Doesn't mean they buy everything I've got to say every time by any stretch of the imagination. If I closed everybody, y'all wouldn't know me, okay? I wouldn't be doing this anymore. But I work for you guys. Just ask Ken or ask Stephen, say, hey, can Steve Richards go talk to my customer? And I'd be more than happy to do it. Okay?